On. Good evening. At long last, I think most of us are here. And I think you heard me mention Joan is still coming in. She said she'd be here shortly. But welcome to everyone. Welcome to ACIM Music and Meditation. And of the three Zoom programs that I do every week. I don't know about you, but I find this to be the most interesting. And again, our following on YouTube seems to find this one very interesting too. We get a lot of views of this program on YouTube. When I say a lot, I don't mean in the thousands or the hundreds even, but for an endeavor like this, whose primary goal is not to be a YouTube creator, but really to share what we talk about and do here with a wider audience, it seems there is a wider audience that likes what we do and what we discuss. But the emphasis on Wednesday night for ACIM Music and Meditation is not so much on discussion, but on setting up an environment to get as spiritual as we can. And as Laverne noted on her Zoom background, it's in quietness that all things are answered. And so we focus on the quietness, the experiential nature of A Course in Miracles. We talk about A Course in Miracles and select a single topic every week that through the use of music and meditation, we can go more deeply into that topic, reflect on it, get hopefully new insights. In short, commune with the Holy Spirit. So this is just a communion activity primarily. So again, thank you all for being here. Any comments or questions before we start our program tonight? All right, I like that answer. So without further ado, the first thing on our agenda is to just let's just shut up for a few minutes, do some silent meditation to get us started, to kind of get us in the mood for what I think you'll find to be a most interesting evening. So let's just begin with silent meditation, just 2 or 3 minutes, okay? Enjoy.
Thank you. Tim? Tim, are you there?
Most definitely. Welcome. You made it, huh?
Well, I still couldn't get in
Oh,
with that spam. It said it was marked spam, so it wouldn't.
You have
I
to,
don't know how to mark it
yeah,
spam.
the market's safe to come out of spam. But listen, all is
Yeah,
well. You're learning computer lessons, maybe the hard way.
mhm.
but
oh, it's awful.
yeah,
Hi, Joan. Hi.
good to see you. And you see, we have a newcomer here, at least to our music and meditation. But you know Christine, right? Joan, have y'all
Yeah,
met?
yeah, we,
Yeah.
yeah, we did.
Now, she's Unity of Livonia. And Christine,
Uh-huh.
so Joan, she's longtime Unity of Livonia, but I think she mainly does this on the YouTube recordings now. But
Right, I do. Yeah.
Right.
listen, nobody seemed to be here when you came because we were all in silent meditation. So you interrupted our silent meditation. But
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Or maybe she really just answered our prayers. That's what I was asking for. Yeah.
yeah. So listen, all is well. We got our group in here, and we are we have a interesting program tonight. Um, it's kind of one of those real Twilight Zone types of topics. Our topic tonight is what is outpicturing? Have you ever heard that word before? Outpicturing?
No,
Yes.
What it
Yeah.
is?
no, I haven't.
Sure.
Not sure. Okay. Um, this has a lot to do with the teachings of A Course in Miracles because A Course in Miracles talks about how powerful the mind is and what it is capable of. And so, what I want to talk about tonight is the principle in the Course in Miracles that says the world you see is a projection of your thought power.
Mm-hmm.
It is an outpicturing of our thoughts. So you can imagine if you got, I don't know, 8 billion minds in our separated world, and they all have their opinions and their perspective on things. And that's crazy. But when you consider how much power they have, because according to A Course in Miracles and other spiritualities and mystical writings and more modern times, quantum physics even says there is no objective reality out there. Everything we're seeing is a projection of our thoughts outward. Do you see why I said it's going to be a real Twilight Zone kind of night? I hope you're open minded. And I think you'll see that Reverend Jim isn't just hallucinating, that there are a lot of very credible sources that say what we're seeing is an outpicturing of our thoughts. Let me show you this video to get started. Now, the video, I just want to show you maybe 10 minutes of it because it's a long video, but the first 10 minutes focuses on something called mentalism. And I'll just go ahead and play it and see what you think on the other side. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right.
There is an ancient saying that goes, "When the student is ready, the master appears." Today, I invite you to understand one of the most profound pillars of occult wisdom, the 7 Hermetic principles derived from the legendary Emerald Tablets. Created by Hermes Trismegistus, also known as Thoth, the Egyptian god of wisdom, each of these principles is a key, and together they form the master key that opens all the doors to the Temple of Mysteries. This video is a compilation of 7 videos, each one explaining one of the 7 principles in detail, so that in the end, you too will hold the master key in your hands. The Hermetic principles are the framework upon which this universe was created. To understand these principles is to understand how the universe works. However, the one who masters these principles becomes the master of their own reality. You will notice that these principles complement each other, and that their order is not random. Now, prepare yourself to dive deep into Hermetic wisdom and enter the Temple of Mysteries. Today we are going to delve into one of the fundamental pillars of Hermeticism, the first of the 7 Hermetic laws, known as the principle of mentalism. It states, "The all is mine. The universe is mental." This seemingly simple phrase holds a universe of implications within it. What does it truly mean to say, "The all is mine"? That the universe is ultimately a mental construct, that our experiences are mere reflections of our thoughts. Today, we will explore the true power behind this principle, and its corroboration within modern physics. This principle not only opens the doors to the other 6 pillars of Hermes Trismegistus, but reveals to us a secret that completely transforms our way of seeing and interacting with the universe. When we affirm that the all is mine, we enter the mystery that the universe, all that is, was, and will be, is a manifestation of the universal mind, what Hindus call Vishnu's dream. Each of us is an intrinsic part of this manifestation. So let us explore this deeply, for once we understand the first law, the doors to the mysteries of the spirit begin to open. To begin, it's essential to understand what this term, mentalism, means. According to the Kybalion, the most well-known book on Hermeticism, mentalism reveals that reality is not physical, nor made of solid, tangible matter as we might imagine. On the contrary, it is a mental construct, a creation of the universal mind, the all. Imagine that every element you see, touch, and feel is part of a vast mental projection, a vision many associate with the concept of the Matrix. This universe, which appears so concrete to us, is an elaborate construct that emerges from consciousness. The ancient masters of Hermeticism teach us that there is an unbreakable connection between our individual mind and this universal mind. In other words, we are sparks of the mind of the all. When you think, create, and imagine, you are using the power of a mind that is ultimately part of the universal consciousness. However, this profound thought raises a question. If we are sparks of the universal mind, why do we feel so distant from the universal mind? What prevents us from perceiving this connection in our daily lives? And the answer lies in another Hermetic maxim. Our human mind, limited by experiences, conditioning, and individual perceptions, is obscured by the illusion of separateness. Various spiritual and philosophical traditions share this idea. Buddha taught that all that we are is the result of what we have thought. Our mind is everything. And this directly echoes the Hermetic principle. Today, science begins to tread a path that reveals the depths of the mind and its influence on reality. Physicist Max Planck, known as the father of quantum physics, stated, "I regard consciousness as fundamental. I regard matter as derivative from consciousness." The principle of mentalism finds a fascinating reflection in the famous double-slit experiment, first conducted by physicist Thomas Young in the early 19th century and revisited with greater depth as quantum science advanced. The experiment is at first simple. A particle, such as an electron, is fired at a barrier with two slits. On the other side of the barrier, an interference pattern is observed. There's a screen to record the impact pattern of the particles. When scientists try to predict the behavior of this particle, something extraordinary happens. If no one observes the electron, it behaves like a wave, passing through both slits simultaneously, and creating an interference pattern like ripples in a pond. However, upon introducing a measure to observe which slit the particle goes through, the electron decides to behave like a particle. It chooses only one of the slits, eliminating the interference pattern and creating a pattern that indicates a defined trajectory. This phenomenon reveals that at a quantum level, the act of observing modifies reality. The observer seems to interfere with the essential nature of the particle, forcing it to choose a specific state. This phenomenon goes beyond materialistic understanding and opens the door to deeper interpretations of the relationship between mind and reality. The double-slit experiment confirms that observation. Consciousness focused on a point possesses the power to determine the state of things. And here lies the great teaching of the first Hermetic law. Reality is malleable, subjective, susceptible to the conscious mind that observes, interacts, and creates. This is what Hermes Trismegistus pointed to millennia ago. Imagine the mind as a vast ocean, where every thought, every observation acts like a stone tossed onto the water's surface, creating ripples and affecting everything around it. When you direct your attention to something, you throw that stone and create the movement, transforming potentiality into manifestation. Like the electron that decides to be a particle instead of a wave. This is the mental power that the Hermetic principle speaks of. The first Hermetic law reveals to us that the mind is the key to creation. But what happens when the power of this mind, our deepest and most creative force, is dispersed and weakened? We live in an era where human attention, our energy, is the most coveted resource. Our energy, once focused on conscious creation, is being manipulated and consumed. And this is no accident. In a world where our ability to create reality depends on the strength of our attention, controlling where that attention is directed becomes a form of power. Modern distractions, social media, constant notifications, advertising, an endless stream of information, act as silent thieves of our mental energy. This fragmentation of the mind distances us from our creative essence and transforms us into mere reactors instead of authors of our own experiences. Studies show that the excess of information and constant stimuli alter our ability to concentrate and memorize in a lasting way, impairing our ability to maintain focus. Over time, the mind loses its sharpness and clarity. It's as if our mental strength is ablaze, and daily distractions wear it down, making it less sharp and effective. The average person's attention span is now comparable to that of a betta fish. In Hermetic teachings, attention is seen as a tool for creation. Imagine it as the concentrated light of a magnifying glass. When your attention is focused, you can concentrate all the energy on a single point. It intensifies and manifests what you desire. But when that light is dispersed, we lose the power to transform and direct our path. We become passive observers, submerged in a torrent of superficial stimuli. In addition to fragmenting focus, modern distractions subtly shape our subconscious. Everything we see and hear, even if it seems irrelevant, leaves a mark on our minds. In the silence of our unconscious, this information accumulates, forming beliefs, fears, and behavior patterns. And as we have seen, the subconscious is a powerful creator of reality. By absorbing information imposed upon us without filtering, we allow our beliefs and values to be programmed by external agents. Instead of nurturing ideas aligned with our true essence, we allow others' realities to impose on ours. Philosopher Aldous Huxley observed that distraction will be the most effective means of control over man. And he was right. A scattered being with unconsciously shaped beliefs does not have the power to shape their own reality. The key to regaining control of your reality lies in regaining control of your mind. And for that, nothing is more powerful than meditation. When we speak of reclaiming control of the mind, meditation emerges as an essential practice. The first Hermetic law teaches us that the mind is the matrix from which all is created. However, a scattered mind, constantly in motion and subject to external influences, loses its ability to focus and intent. To meditate, then, is the path to gather attention and direct it, like a lens focusing light on a single point, until it becomes capable of igniting fire. In Hermetic practice, meditation is a return to 0 point.
So, y'all still there?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Video. What'd you think of the video?
I truly enjoyed it. Can you send us the link to that?
Absolutely. And
Thanks.
Yeah.
mine's going in a couple of directions. I inadvertently closed the window with the rest of my program tonight.
Oh.
Okay.
All right, bear with
Wow.
we can work through that. But let me just get focused here. Yeah, Kathleen, you enjoyed it, and I'm certainly happy to send out the link to this video. Let me just say this video covers all 7 Hermetic
Yeah.
principles.
Good.
So I just showed you a little of the first one.
Mhm.
First principle of Hermetic law is mentalism. It
Mental,
states
right?
that all is mind, M-I-D,
MD. Yeah.
and
All is mine.
is the ground from which everything else forms.
Mhm.
Are you surprised to hear these credible people say that what you're seeing is not real? The material world is a projection of our thoughts. Did that surprise anyone?
No.
The
No.
Course has been saying all along.
Right.
Yes. And so,
Mhm.
by the way, who have you ever heard of Hermes? Hermes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You sent us
Yeah,
some
you've talked
information.
about them before.
I'm always because another name for Hermes. Hermes is a Greek name, but the Egyptian counterpart for this, he may be a mythological character. I don't know if he was real or whatever, but maybe you've heard the name Thoth, Thoth. The
Mhm.
Maybe.
Thoth. Well, this is another name for Hermes. So I want you to see this is from thousands of years ago. People were saying that all is mind and these 7 principles, and that if you know and understand these principles, you can not only understand them, but you can use them to do miracles. You know how Jesus did miracles? You know how the ancient gurus from India, you hear about these miraculous things that they were able to do?
Yes.
You know how to use mind power in a mind-boggling way. So you've already mentioned, Joan and maybe others, is, yeah, that's what A Course in Miracles says also. So, of course, I brought in a few passages from A Course in Miracles. Let me pull them up for you and see what you think. If we can get that going. There we go. And so I think there are 5 passages there. Can you see them okay?
Yes.
Yeah. So, Debbie, I see you first to the right on my screen. What is victory? And here's what the Course says. Do that first one, Debbie.
The world you see has nothing to do with reality. It is of your own making, and it does not exist.
And Laverne, how about number 2?
This is the first idea we have had that is related to a major phase of the correction process, the reversal of the thinking of the world. It seems as if the world determines what you perceive. Today's idea introduces the concept that your thoughts determine the world you see.
So let's just see if you have any comments on the first 2 before we go on. Do you remember reading any of these? Or, it's mentalism, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the Hermes goes back to the days of the pharaohs in Egypt, to the before the Greek philosophers. It goes back to the time of Abraham in the Bible. And even back then, they were talking about your reality is an outpicturing. Let's go on to number 3. Kathleen, would you do that one?
Sure. The world you see depicts exactly what you thought you did, except that now you think that what you did is being done to you.
Okay. So the Course is always talking about this thing that comes from fear is called guilt. And how rather than dealing with the guilt, which we would find is baseless, we try and avoid it and project it and say, no, I'm not the guilty one. It's the Democrats, okay? Or it's the Hamas, okay? That they're the guilty ones, but it's really me, my guilt thoughts that I'm projecting out on to others. And the power of that thinking gives you witnesses to what you thought. How am I doing with that? Am I?
Good.
Yeah.
All right. And Christine, you okay? Or do you have a comment or question, dear?
No, when it's time, I can read number 4.
Oh, yay. Please.
Okay. Every thought you have made, every thought you have makes up some segment of the world you see. go back again. It is with your thoughts then that we must work. If your perception of the world is to be changed.
Great. And Kathleen, did you read yet?
Yeah, but I can read again if you want.
Oh, no, let me skip to Joan.
Okay.
I'm covering everybody. Oh, I still didn't get to Cheryl. We don't have enough passages. And
No.
why don't you go ahead and do that one?
Okay. Vision already holds a replacement for everything you think you see now. Loveliness can light your images and so transform them that you will love them, even though they were made of hate.
Okay. Yeah. Comments on number 4. Every thought you have makes up some segment of the world you see. Shocking, isn't it?
Well, it's very abstract right now in my brain.
Yes.
You know, my concrete brain wants to figure it out. You know, like A equals B and B equals C,
Yeah.
therefore,
But it's
but it's
tough and
not.
it's
You can't reason it out that way.
Mm-mm.
You know, if this is true, can you imagine what a mess it is with 8 billion separate minds? And what the hell is going on in those minds? And that is what is making our reality. Seems like it would make it a very chaotic place.
Well, it is, isn't it? The world.
And so it is, right? So then Jesus says, it is with your thoughts, then we must work if your perception of the world is to be changed. I would not be wise to work to change what you see, because if this is true, what you see is not the problem. What's the problem? What you
Thinking. That's
where, if we want to change, we have to go to the place where a true change can be made. And then that last one, didn't that sound kind of hopeful to you? That maybe despite the utter chaos, maybe there's hope. Jesus says that vision, as opposed to the body's eyes, already holds a replacement for everything you think you see now. I can show you how to look on an enemy and see them as a friend once more. I can show you how to look on devastation and see beauty there regardless. That would be a miracle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But that's where the miracles occur, is in the mind, not the mind is cause. Our reality is an effect of a cause. Is that a good impetus for you to change your mind about? In the introduction to the workbook for students, Jesus says the purpose of this workbook is to change your mind about everyone and everything in the world. Everyone and everything. Because everything you see has been coming from mistaken thinking, specifically from the paradigm of separation. That is the mistake in thinking. So I got to start having you to stop thinking in terms of separation if you want a better world. And that is kind of the point we're making to help us understand. Was there a comment or just agreement? Okay.
Agreement. Yeah.
It's very important then to understand why changing our thinking, not just for you individually, but of helping your brothers and sisters to change their thoughts. That's the only way we can see a better world, is not through external interactions, wars, politics, or it's always going to come down to what's in your heart and how does that influence your thinking. Let's do our meditation period here. I'll need you to bear with me for a minute because, as I said before, I inadvertently closed the window with all of our stuff. So just think about, wow, I am picturing the world with my thoughts. And I didn't really embrace that before. I thought it was kind of a wacko Twilight Zone idea. But maybe not, huh? This is where I need your indulgence. Plus, we got everything running slow because Zoom is on. I'll do better if I take my time. Okay. And so I'll go here. And let's just spend a few minutes reflecting on the idea that the world is merely a reflection of our thoughts. out picturing, out picturing. How powerful must you be if you can produce realities? How powerful must we all be if we have the ability to produce reality? Are you small and weak? How could you be small and weak
No.
if you can produce reality?
Reality. Yeah.
And just think what collective consciousness can do.
Oh, wow. What would that be if we all had unified goals instead of conflicting and bickering? What would we be together? By the way, that's an upcoming program we'll just explore. It's mind-boggling to think of, isn't it?
It's awfully hard to wrap your head around.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
And it
Really.
shows you how small your head must be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are things that we can't even fathom.
Yeah.
So, hey, maybe we messed up, but nobody's denying how powerful we are as a species, you see? So, when you do your work as a teacher of God, remember that we are trying to demonstrate change inside out. That's how we teach others and try and get them to look at a place they probably didn't think to look before, because the world keeps us chasing everything on the outside. But what we're looking for is the ability to go within, to understand the power of our minds,
Right.
and to use that
Right.
to make a better world.
My
Yeah.
question and food for thought is, are there 9 different people seeing 9 different things at this moment that we're watching this? Or is it one person seeing one vision with just 9 different people?
Right.
You know, it's
I
like,
mean, these
it's
are all,
mind blowing. So I don't even try to figure it out. I just go with the flow.
No.
Yeah.
no, I figure maybe that'll answer to that or will be revealed. But man, I'm just reeling over the first revelations here of what might really be going on. I told you it'd be kind of a, was there a comment there?
No, I was just going to say, I agree with you.
I told you it'd be kind of a Twilight Zone program tonight.
It's putting yourself in the mindset to go beyond what you think you think.
Yeah.
And allowing yourself just to flow with the energy.
Yeah. And so I think it's valuable information. I mean, when's the last time you saw this subject on the 6 o'clock news? And yet, I think you really wanted to have some news for people, you'd be talking about stuff like this. But anyhow, I figured with all the heavyweight stuff tonight, we probably gotten a headache. So let's just last few minutes. I call it my Tylenol playlist. And let's here, with a little bit of relief. Again, bear with my friends to get to looking for would be right here. And what I want to do is get started. Oh, it always helps if you turn it up, right? Sorry.
Maybe the sun gave me the power, but I could swim Loch Lomond and be home in half an hour. Maybe the air gave me the drive, for I'm all aglow and alive. What a day this has been, what a rare mood I'm in. Well, it's almost like being in love. There's a smile on my face for the whole human race. Well, it's almost like being in love. music of life seems to be like a bell that is ringing for me. And from the way that I feel when that bell starts to peal, I could swear I was falling. I would swear I was falling. Well, it's almost like being in love. What a rare mood I'm in. Well, it's almost like being in love. You know, there's a smile on my face for the whole human race. Well, it's almost like being in love. All the music of life seems to be just like a bell that is ringing. It's ringing just for me. And from the way that I feel when that bell starts to peal, I could swear I was falling, swear I was falling. Well, it's almost like being in love. Oh, oh, but that be all.
Very nice. Nice.
Feeling better? Little lighter?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you,
you.
Jim. That's just what I needed today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Me too. That was wonderful.
Absolutely. Today's been, oh my.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
And I relate to music like that too. So I love that. Thank you.
Great, Martine. I'm glad you're enjoying some
I
significant
am.
stuff, but it's very deep.
Yes.
But
And
not
and I'm
supernatural creatures, are we?
Yeah.
I was going to say, you sent me down the rabbit hole of the connection between music and mentalism.
Yeah.
yeah.
So what
Yeah.
insights are you getting from the relationship between music and quiet time and relax? So deep, doesn't it?
Well, what I'm getting,
Words on the page. Go ahead, Laverne. Sorry.
no, I'm just saying what I was getting is the music and the vibrations take me away from the brain and all that thinking. So
Yeah.
It raises us up to a higher level.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
We'll be doing more. I'm hoping to do a book study of the Kabbalion on Monday nights at ACIM Talk. That will be our next study. But the 7 principles here One of them is the principle of vibration. The other is the principle of rhythm. I mention those two because I want you to see how that helps us to construct a program that sinks deeper than words. Still using kinetic principles here, you see. But anyhow, there's enough there for another time. Final comment, question?
Good. I enjoyed it.
Yes.
Very, very good session. Very good evening.
Right.
Yep.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much,
Yeah.
Jim.
Oh, you're
Very good. Thank
and I appreciate how you're so nice to me with all the technical roughness that this still has. But I hope you see the intent, my friends. And again, thank you for coming out. Let's see,
Thank you.
Michigan
Thank you.
and Kathleen. It's cold in Connecticut. I'll close
Yeah.
with stay warm.
Today it's not. Yeah, it's not bad, but on Saturday it's only going to go up to 9
Yeah,
all day.
but we're right there with you.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
In there, guys. Love you.
All right.
And
All right.
Bye. Take care.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Okay, love you all. Take care.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.